Night falls, shadows crawl, campfire crackles. It's time for stories. Stories that chill the bone. Stories born in darkness, whispered around flickering flames. These aren't fairy tales. These are warnings. Tales of the unexpected, the unexplained, the unexplainable. They linger long after the fire dies. Out here in the wild, anything is possible. The woods hold secrets, dark, ancient secrets. Listen closely, let the fear in. Two friends, hiking deep in the Rockies. They had planned this trip for months, eager to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. The forest was supposed to be their sanctuary, a place to reconnect with nature and each other. Laughter echoing through silent pines. Their spirits were high and the air was filled with the scent of pine needles and earth. Then the wind changed. It was subtle at first, a mere shift in the atmosphere. Whispers slithered through the trees. Not wind. Voices. They stopped, listened. The voices faded. They exchanged uneasy glances, trying to rationalize what they had heard. Maybe it was just the wind playing tricks on them. Just the wind, they thought. They kept moving, faster now. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and flicker. The whispers returned, louder, closer. Each step they took seemed to amplify the eerie sounds. Panic set in. They ran. Branches tore at them, leaving scratches and bruises. The whispers became screams, a cacophony of voices that seemed to come from all directions. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they stumbled through the underbrush. They burst from the trees onto a familiar trail. Safe. They paused to catch their breath, their bodies trembling with adrenaline. The familiar trail was a welcome sight, a beacon of normalcy in the midst of chaos. But the woods whispered on. The eerie sounds lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of their ordeal. They vowed never to return, but the memory of the whispers would stay with them forever, a chilling tale to tell around future campfires. A lone hiker, a seasoned outdoorsman, vanished, his pack found by a stream untouched. No sign of struggle, no note. Search parties scoured the area. Days turned into weeks. Nothing. He was gone. The mystery lingered. Then, a year later, a crumpled note found pinned to a tree. "I'm not lost," it read, in the missing hiker's handwriting. But the writing on the note? It wasn't ink. It was blood. A family camping in the heart of the forest, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of nature. The air was crisp, and the sky was a blanket of stars. They had set up their tent and gathered around the campfire, the warm glow of the flames casting dancing shadows on their faces. Telling stories around the campfire, they shared tales of adventure and mystery, their voices rising and falling with excitement. The crackling of the fire added to the ambiance, making the stories come alive. Each member of the family took turns, weaving their own narratives, some funny, some spooky. Their laughter echoed in the night, a joyful sound that seemed to blend with the rustling leaves and distant calls of nocturnal creatures. It was a moment of pure happiness, a memory in the making. The forest, usually so silent, seemed to join in their merriment, amplifying their joy. Then, from the darkness beyond the firelight, two glowing eyes appeared. The laughter died abruptly, replaced by a tense silence. The eyes stared, unblinking, piercing through the night. They seemed to hold a mysterious power, freezing everyone in place. The once comforting darkness now felt ominous and threatening. The father, trying to appear brave, called out into the darkness, his voice trembling slightly. "Who's there?" he asked, hoping for a rational explanation. Silence. The eyes moved, slowly, deliberately, closer. The tension was palpable. Suddenly, a deafening roar shattered the silence, sending a wave of fear through the family. The family huddled together, terrified, their hearts pounding in unison. They clung to each other, seeking comfort and protection. The night, once filled with laughter, was now a scene of fear and uncertainty. Every rustle, every shadow seemed to hold a new threat. The creature stepped into the light, revealing itself. It was not the monster they had feared, but a raccoon, startled by their presence. Its eyes, reflecting the firelight, had seemed much more menacing in the darkness. The family let out a collective sigh of relief, their fear giving way to laughter once more. A raccoon, startled by their presence, had caused all the commotion. It looked at them with curious eyes before scurrying away into the forest. The family watched it go, their hearts still racing, but now with a sense of amusement. The night had played a trick on them, turning a harmless creature into a phantom of their imagination. But the eyes, they seemed to linger, even after the raccoon scurried away. The family couldn't shake the feeling that something else was out there, watching from the shadows. The forest, with all its mysteries, held secrets they could only begin to fathom. The night was far from over, and the glowing eyes remained a haunting memory. Section 5. The Unseen Guest. A young couple camping deep in the woods, seeking solitude. They found something else. It started subtly, footsteps outside their tent. Heavy, measured steps. They dismissed it as an animal, but the steps continued each night, closer, bolder. They never saw anything. One morning they found it. A single muddy footprint, human-shaped, but far too large. Section 6. The Abandoned Cabin. Lost hikers seeking shelter from a storm stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin, boarded windows, a rusted padlock, but the door creaked open. Inside, a fire crackled in the hearth. A table set for two, food still warm, as if waiting. They called out. No answer. They turned to leave. The door slammed shut. The padlock clicked shut. They were trapped. Section 7. The Howling Dog. Campers gathered around a fire, sharing ghost stories. A mournful howl pierced the night. A dog, they thought, but the howling continued. Every night, always the same direction, toward a forgotten cemetery miles down a dirt road. One night, curiosity got the better of them. They followed the sound. The howling led them to a grave, a small, heart-shaped headstone. The inscription read, "Here lies Sparky, man's best friend." Section 8. The Campground Watcher. A group of friends camping at a popular site, noisy, carefree, unaware of the figure watching from the tree line. Every night it watched, silent, unseen. One by one, their supplies started disappearing. Food, flashlights, even a tent. Panic set in. They blamed each other. But the Watcher knew the truth. It was never about the supplies. It was about the fear. Section 9. The Foggy Trail. Two hikers lost in a dense fog. The trail vanished. They wandered, disoriented. The fog seemed to whisper, to beckon. They stumbled upon a clearing. A solitary figure stood there, shrouded in fog. It beckoned them closer. One hiker, hesitant, refused to move. The other, drawn by an unseen force, stepped forward. The fog swallowed him whole. He was never seen again. Section 10. The Final Terror. A lone camper, nestled deep in his sleeping bag. A twig snapped outside his tent. He froze, listening. Another snap. Closer. He fumbled for his flashlight. The zipper of his tent unzipped slowly. He held his breath. A voice, raspy and low, whispered from the opening. "Do you have any more s'mores?" Section 11. Embrace the darkness. These are just stories. Or are they? Stories passed down through generations, whispered around campfires and shared in hushed tones. But what if there's more to them than just fiction? The woods are full of mystery. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig could be something watching, waiting. The forest holds secrets, ancient and untold, that have been hidden from the eyes of the world for centuries. Of things that go bump in the night, creatures that lurk just beyond the reach of the campfire's glow, shadows that move when you're not looking. The night is alive with the unknown, and it's in these moments that our imaginations run wild, things that watch from the shadows, eyes that peer out from the darkness, unseen but felt, the feeling of being watched, the hairs standing up on the back of your neck. These are the sensations that make the night so thrilling, yet so terrifying. So the next time you're out in the wilderness, remember these tales. Let them remind you of the thin veil between the known and the unknown. The stories that have been told for generations are not just for entertainment. They are warnings, lessons from the past. Remember that you're not alone. The forest is teeming with life, both seen and unseen. Every sound, every movement is a reminder that you are a guest in a world that is not your own. Respect it, and it may just respect you in return. And if you hear something go bump in the night, don't be too quick to dismiss it. It could be a harmless animal, or it could be something more. Something that has been waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. It's probably just a squirrel. Probably. But in the darkness where the line between reality and imagination blurs, even the smallest sound can become a harbinger of fear. For more chilling tales of the unexpected, subscribe to our channel and face your fears in the darkness. Join us as we explore the mysteries of the night, uncover the secrets of the wilderness, and embrace the darkness together. Because sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones that are true.